serotonin.
Nice. That's the intro. Instant serotonin. Okay. Go ahead.
I need the notes back up for sure. Okay. So we come out and the streets are soaked with blood, and we meet a guard who explains that Lily transformed and slaughtered many people in the Pale Scroll Order and town.
Why would she do this?
And many others. Sorry, I'm reading real quick. We meet some people who tell us that we need to submit evidence for the upcoming trial, and we submitted most of the evidence we have incriminating Lily. So, sorry, babe. Oh my god.
Oh,
What?
clicked.
Oh. Then we used the time that we had to go get witnesses, and we went to go get Adriel. Is that her name, right?
Adriel.
2 Whispers and Sarah, the infected guard. Then we went to the church to recruit with Reverend Mother Eleanor to stand as a witness against the Pale Scroll Order. Then Orn goes to the bodies and gets kicked outside. Oh yeah. Stop. I'm trying to read. We split up, and Orn goes to meet Keodor and his old mentor.
No, Keodor is my old
Oh,
man.
yeah, that's what I said. And then GLJ and the rest of the party wait for the trial.
Isolde?
Why do you say so? We meet with Isolde, who then teleports the group to the courtroom in the Mage City. Andorphus? Yeah?
Andorphus.
Andorphus. Sorry. Stop. Okay.
The city of Andorpolis.
Endorphins.
The trial begins. We do all the statements. They talk about the evidence that we have. Adriel comes. I think everyone we asked came. Then we all give our testimonies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Cool. So, like, last you guys left off, the whole party had, like, given their piece, said their testimonies and whatnot. And now, like, you can kind of see that the witnesses that you guys had called upon are gathering to go and speak their piece. And for this, you guys will be able to ask, like, questions to the NPCs that you brought along if you would like. So the defense and the prosecution can ask the witnesses questions. So the first person you see kind of walking up into, like, the center of this room to stand in that, like, square, which is the circle of truth, and you can see that he chooses willingly to fail it, is 2 Whispers in the Wind. So your orange tabaxi friend, he stands in the circle, and he kind of, like, you know, gives a quick, like, look around at the courtroom and looks, like, very bewildered by seeing the sky above. And I think, like, he'll turn to the audience and, both the defendant and the prosecution, which is you guys. So, I understand I'm supposed to speak about what happened? And Isolde, she like chimes in right away. She's like, "Yes, that's correct. So why don't you start from the beginning?" Oh, okay. So myself and another druid were sent out to go and try to investigate the creeping sickness that was eating up our forest. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. And Two Whispers, like, he grabs his tail, like, subconsciously, and he's, like, holding on to it, death gripping it. While we were out, we saw corpses and these weird squid monster thingies, and we were quickly overrun, and the guard escort that was with us died. Yeah, so they died, and I'd climbed a tree to stay safe. And I think the defense gets a little annoyed at this point. And so that dwarf that you see, or did the opening statement for Joffrey, he stands up. And how does this pertain? And Two Whispers starts sweating. Well, it pertains because that's when I met Orn. He like gestures out to Orn. He rescued me from the tree. And he gives you like a smile and a wave, Orn.
Yep, I did do that. I saved him from the cat from the tree.
Okay, so my friend rescues me, right? And I get down off of the tree with the help of Orn, obviously. And my companion, Adriana, was rescued as well. Adriana was affected with sickness that we were sent to investigate. We made it back to town, and I agreed to be the spy for the party. And he, like, happily puts his hands on his waist, and the defense instantly sets up. What do you mean, spy? What were they asking of you? Actually, they can answer for themselves. What were you asking of the druid to be your spy?
Orn will kind of motion to,
To keep his eyes and his ears open for us while we weren't around.
So, is it safe to say you already had suspicion of the Mages Guild at this point?
At this point, we just had suspicion of needed to be suspicious of everything.
Was it not the Mages Guild who sent you out on your mission to recover the druids?
Yes, they did.
You may continue.
Well, did they want the samples as well, or was that the Druids Guild?
It was the druids who wanted the samples.
Yeah, the druids wanted the samples.
I think they also wanted their people back, but
They also wanted.
So the druids wanted the samples and their peoples back. The mages sent you out to help recover the druids and get some of the dragon scales.
yeah.
All right. So I was the super secret spy for the party, and during the town hall meeting, Nelazos arrived. Our druid hierarchy changed, and things were kind of strange. I remember overhearing Lily talking about meeting some of her associates in the courtyard. So I let Orn know. And is this true? Did you hear of a secret meeting?
Yes. I believe I mentioned it in my witness statement. This was the time that I figured out that they were trying to poison us, and I went to warn Adriel.
Perfect. Thank you for setting the record straight. Two Whispers, continue. So I heard the meeting, and I told Orn, and I remember running around the building and Orn telling me to stop because I didn't want me to knock anything over. Then after the meeting, everyone left and I was to remain their spy. I do remember something concerning happening, and I'm so sorry, my friends, I completely forgot to mention this to you. Lily had sent a few groups of mages to hunt down your friend's brother, the werewolf boy, to kill him after you guys had gone up the mountain. I'm sorry, who is this werewolf boy? Is this the one where she initially got her samples from? Yes, his name was Lorenzo, I think, and he left to go home.
I'm assuming he teleported with Asher.
He was actually escorted by one of those, by a character named Ayaka, so everyone could run up the mountain and not worry about him.
So he's probably okay.
So where is this friend now? I do see that you guys are a party member short.
Orn will kind of look at.
As I
GLJ.
stated in my testimony, while we were in the mountain, a portal opened up and we heard a voice that we did not recognize. And a hand came through and grabbed him and yanked him through. And the portal closed before we could even react.
Interesting. Do you not think that's a little fishy? At least
he
in a
had
bride?
Oh, incredibly fishy. He had
just killed Solomon.
He had just killed Solomon, and we were already growing suspicious of him because he had a dagger that seemed to be cursed.
It was cursed.
Something.
It was cursed by. I actually know the name, so. Holy shit! I gotta go back into the Asher notes. Hold on.
I remember the name.
What was the?
It was the Demon Queen of the Blood Moon.
The dagger that he possessed belonged to the Demon Queen of the Blood Moon.
Now, Orn, as a member of Endoffice, do you think you should have reported that to us immediately?
Well, he was a part
Demonic
of my...
artifacts are so dangerous.
He was a part of the group that I was a part of, and we were dealing with bigger things at the time.
Alright. I hope the Mages Guild does not ignore these transgressions, seeing as they are pointing the finger at my client. Please continue, Two Whispers. And Two Whispers is now his eyes are the size of dinner plates, his ears are in airplane mode, and he is death gripping onto his tail.
You're doing great, Whispers.
There was some mages sent to hunt down and kill the werewolf boy while he is fleeing. I did overhear that there was another plot to kill Adriel while they were gone as well. But that was... Lily, in particular, was angry at the arrival of the Endoffice mages because it interrupted her plans to get rid of her. And I know that this is just hearsay and whatnot, but she was talking so quietly, and I've obviously got these big old cat ears. And then there was a group that was going up towards the dragon. I chose to go with the druids to make sure nothing happened to the dragon and so I could meet my friends on the mountain. Especially since Lily was going, so I wanted to keep an eye on her there as well. And that's it. And Isolde will speak up. And she's like, does anyone have any further questions for Two Whispers? And the defense, they shake their head no. And then she looks to you guys if you have any questions to ask.
I don't have any. Tumbly? GLJ?
I don't think so. I think you did great.
Yeah, I think you did good.
Alright, Two Whispers, you are dismissed. And he takes the fuck off. Like, full-blown sprinting, like he does not want to be there. Like, he is a cat, like, Tokyo drifting out of this courtroom.
That boy is a cat.
From there, Isolde, she'll call up another name. She'll call Sarah Mullen. And from the audience, the sick guard kind of shambles up. And she stands in the zone of truth, which she also chooses to fail, so everyone can know she's telling the truth. Good evening, Your Honor, members of the court. I was called upon the hero's table for a testimony because I was one of the first of the afflicted. And the dwarven lawyer, I'm just going to call him that. And how long have you been afflicted, and how far is it here? Because I do worry about the safety of the health of this court. And she coughs into her hands, and you can see some of the black liquid come out. And she takes off her gloves. And you can just see, like, from, like, the last time you saw her, like, her hands are basically black. The whites of her eyes are, like, a deep gray. Like, she's obviously very sick, and you can see, like, those black veins, like, all throughout her body. Those, like, spider veins. And the defendant will stand up, and he's like, "Hi, Judge. Do we really think it's appropriate to have someone so sick here that could get all of us sick?"
Objection, Your Honor. As long as she doesn't attack anybody or spit in anybody's mouth, we are perfectly safe. I've been around many sick. The entire time I have been here, I have even fought directly with the afflicted, and I have yet to catch the contagion. It requires direct blood contact or direct ingestion. It is impossible to gain the affliction through the air, as far as I have observed thus far.
And the High Judge, Thalindra, she proceed. And the defendant, like, looks pissed. I first was afflicted, early on into the missing Sky debacle. I was out with another guard unit and was fighting corpses along the road to Whitwallow. I briefly fell and I got some of the ichor in my mouth. I made it back to town where I was simply just trying to deal. I remember the paladin arriving and he caused a panic. A panic? What do you mean? What did you do?
At this time I was definitely not quite aware on how to deal with a situation like this, and I thought it was best to just be honest about our findings, but perhaps it was a bit rash of me to disclose all the information all at once to the townspeople, and I caused a bit of a panic. But I assure you, I was just being honest. about what we had observed and the affliction, and I was trying to find anyone who was afflicted, so I had everyone raise their hands to see if anybody had black fingers. There was a few who were merely a bit frostbitten, and those people were panicked, and I definitely should have handled that situation a bit more delicately. But I assure you, my intent was to keep the townspeople of North Strand fully in the loop as to what was going on in the region that their city lies.
All right, you may proceed. I I was very quickly thrust into the Pale Skull Order, which was a mess at the time. Lily was the mage who directly wanted to look after me. I was wheeled back into this room with this half-orc boy who left. I'm assuming he was the werewolf. Instead of helping me, she tested on me. I felt like I became a guinea pig to this woman. And was there anyone else who aided her in treating you, or was it just Lily? Unfortunately, it was just her. She didn't quite allow other mages back into the area.
Could you describe some of these tests?
Um, she took a lot of my blood. She poked needles into me all over the place. She cut pieces of my hair. She used strange magic that seeped in and out of my body. And she put me to sleep a lot, and I would wake up with bruises. So many bruises.
And may I ask, the prosecution, was any of this blood or hair samples presented during your investigation?
Isolde will answer, and no, with the Pale Skull Order, if you saw, was in a state of disarray. A lot of samples are likely mixed in with blood, and we have a team there investigating now. We wish to conduct more thorough investigations, but this trial was too important to wait.
Thank you.
I did see what she did with some of the samples, though. She played with my samples and the orc boy's samples, and she seemed to be doing some sort of alchemical manipulation with both. I saw his blood and my blood, the ichor, and a lot of other bottles on her shelves being used. I saw glimpses of black magic, something dark. And are you sure you saw this? Do you think is that how she concocted herself into a tentacle werewolf? I don't know.
I don't believe it is her job to determine that. She's here to merely say what she witnessed.
All right, proceed. I know I'm not her only test subject, and neither is the orc boy. I remember seeing a child from the poorer parts of town. I remember waking up in the middle of the night, wee hours, so late. And, I saw her injecting something into this child.
Did that objection resemble the shit, it's the
It,
Um,
It almost looked like she put blood into the child. Something strange.
I don't see it on our evidence list, but the the vial that one of the vials that Orn gave.
No, it was not that. It was like a vial of blood that she inserted into this child.
Okay.
After that, I was quickly moved into the druid's care. I feel sicker than ever.
Hey, Sam.
So,
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but can I do a Arcana check or like a history check to like think back on my studies and think like, does blood transfusion spread lycanthropy?
you may.
Can I do Arcana?
Yeah.
26.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, I was able to see your dice roll. Tate.
Oh, so if you guys turn on 3D dice rolls, maybe.
I turned on enable 3D dice as well as automatically roll 3D dice. I just have everything turned on under dice options.
Try to roll then. Yeah, I just saw
Oh,
that.
how cute.
Nice.
Are mine always going to be
Oh,
yellow?
does mine do it too? Oh.
Maybe you need to be rolling on behalf
Oh,
of a
I
sheep.
got the player.
If I switch to wheat and roll.
Yeah, let's go.
So my dice are just always yellow.
My dice are also. Oh, it's blue. Cool. I like that. So with your 26, you know that like lycanthropy can be spread through a lot of ways. So it's most often spread through bites or inheritance, like being passed down. So a lycanthrope can bite another person and draw blood, which can create one. So you think that like if she is playing with chemicals, there's such as things like inducing lycanthropy, using her own blood, and possibly like werewolf saliva, she could easily transfer it that way. Like it's pretty clear that's probably how she created her sleeper agents to begin with.
So yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Um, Orn would like put his hand up. Your Honor, if we can assume that the blood that she collected was either from the guard herself or from the half orc boy, then there would be two outcomes. Yes, there would be either the child would get infected with the umbral elixir from the guard, or through means of blood transfusion they would be infected with lycanthropy.
Or possibly both.
Or possibly both.
That is correct.
So that is all. I would just like to put that out on the record.
And she like nods her head, and then Isolde the tiefling, she like walks back up. Does either party have any more questions for Sarah Mullen?
After you were transferred to the care of the druids, how did that treatment change? What was the difference in treatment?
The difference in treatment was so much more gentle. I stopped having samples drawn from my body. I was no longer induced into sleep. I had salves put on my fingers. I they used healing magic to try and just at least stabilize me, and it helps, but not quite enough.
If
Every
I
time
may
the dragon
ask,
cries, I feel like my body writhes in agony and I feel weaker every time.
if I may ask, the experiments that Lily was giving you, was performing on you, if that was her trying to treat you, did you feel any better?
No, I felt worse, if
And then,
anything.
under the care of the druids and them giving you salves and healing magics and actually taking care of your sick body, did that help?
It helped ease the pains and make me feel better, but unfortunately the sickness is still spreading. I don't know if any of you other than Adriel have experienced this, but it's grueling. I too have experienced the affliction all my people have, but we were cured. And like Savlera like chimes in with that. And Belinda's then suddenly very interested, the head judge. So she stands up in that center table and she's all, how did you all go about curing the underground tribes? This is quite important for us to treat the rest of the people of Northstrand.
Yeah. Our intentions weren't even to cure them. We were purely trying to locate the source of the affliction and the oncoming undead and illithid type creatures. And we found that some of them were being summoned by large crystals. And when these crystals were destroyed, the troll people, we became less and less sick until once we had destroyed all the crystals, they all they all were cured as far as we could tell.
It is as if the liquid, the umbral elixir, was starting to be rejected by our bodies. Like we were able to expel and get rid of it and reclaim our vitality. So, it seems as if you all possibly need to investigate the other side of the rune then.
Yes, as soon as possible.
And Dothis will take note. Are there any more questions for Sarah? I have a question. So you acknowledge that Lily, and Lily alone, was responsible for your treatment in the Pale Scroll Order? I do. Thank you, that's all. And this poor woman, who looks sick as a dog, kind of shambles away, and like you can see like another mage who's like sitting in the audience, they get up and they help escort her out of the room. We'd like to call upon the Reverend Mother next. And in walks the old woman, Reverend Mother Eleanor. And she steps into the zone of truth, which she willingly fails.
Imagine if she was the one that was like, no, I'm not gonna.
That would be funny. Oh. So, fuck you and your truth magic. Good evening. My name is Eleanor, and I am the Reverend Mother at the Church of Paylor in Northstrand. I was called here by the Paladin of Zarevor.
That's the GLJ.
The Golden Luminary of Justice. I understand that my presence here is to help, especially after this unavoidable tragedy. Reverend Mother, please begin with your involvement in what you've witnessed against the Pale Scroll Order, and we'll go from there. Of course. So, obviously, this one random day, the sky went missing. And we were trapped in eternal twilight. That runic pyramid that appeared 2 years ago began to make noise. And, that grand dragon who rarely passes through this part of the world became stuck. Our church lost our light and lost the guidance of the sun god Palor. It was quite scary, actually. I remember going to the Pale Scroll Order to ask for help, and I was assured by one of the associates that it was going to be handled. In fact, I do remember speaking to you, Joffrey, and you told me and assured me you were working on it right away. And when exactly did you speak to Joffrey? About a day after our sky went missing. Obviously, our prayers aren't as strong when the sun isn't here. So of course we turn to the other magic users of town. Joffrey did assure me he would work on it. After about a week, with no change, I returned to the Pale Scroll Order.
Oh,
Only to be...
sorry, Sam. I actually have a question.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Orn will put up his hand. I actually, ma'am. So you told, you said you talked to Joffrey a day after it happened. And
yes.
May I ask, do you believe he worked on it?
I'd like to have faith in people. But with the lack of change, I don't feel like it was being handled hastily or at all.
Thank you. You make it.
Sure.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't know how to do this jury stuff, dude. I'm not a lawyer. But Orn is fucking 20 intellect, so I just gotta fucking try.
Got a big brain through it.
Yeah.
After a week with our conversation, I returned to the Pale Skull Order. As people in the town had become scared, people had stopped coming to my church because there was no sun. Why pray to a sun god when there's no sun? I feel my connection with my god is also dwindling, and our newly appointed paladins grew weary. We returned to the Pale Scroll Order to be met by Lily, who sent us away immediately. We offered help, religious help, seeing as this is a strange occurrence, and they denied us. They sent us on our way, and she assured me it was handled and they were researching it.
The same as Joffrey did.
Yes. Although Lily seemed more eager to get me out of her doorstep.
Would you say that they were gaslighting you?
Hey, do you even know what that means?
She's the Reverend Mother. Of course she knows what gaslighting is.
Hey, do you know what that means?
Yeah. No, that's what they are. That's what they're doing. They're not working on it, and they're just like pushing them away and being like, "We're working on it. We're working on
It's
it."
not gaslighting.
That's gaslighting.
Gaslighting is trying to tell something like it's like when you catch somebody like eating a burger and they're like, "I wasn't eating a burger." Like, you're crazy. It's like trying to make somebody like believe that like they're crazy for like believing the truth.
No, yeah, but I mean they do that. They did that. They've been
That's-
lying to us the entire time about them doing it.
I think, Tate, you should leave that word to the girlies.
That's what it is.
I would say I don't know if I felt gaslit, but I did feel like they were just trying to get rid of me as fast as they could. And so at this point in time, I had to turn my focus to charity. People, we're ending winter. There is no sun to melt the snow. There is no heat. People's storages are getting low. Hope is dwindling. And so another week passes with no change. And after that week passes, that's when the mages from the city arrived, the paladin arrived, and that little roguish boy arrived with his orcish brother. We did our best to help continue healing the community, and we were very lucky to be invited to the town meeting. By the time we had reached the town meeting, I had already been warned by our heroes here of some strange happenings with the Mages Guild. At least the Pale Scroll Order. And what were those warnings? I was warned that something strange seemed afoot. They were being very secretive. And I heard how they had hired some of the impoverished children around town to steal. All things that are very concerning from people who are supposed to be helping our community. And did they bring any proof of that to you, ma'am? I didn't need proof based on the way the Mages Guild had treated me. When it was decided we were to help the mages, we were met with even more resistance. Lily had even told me my priests and paladins were not welcome within the Pale Scroll Order.
Did we know that? I don't think we knew that.
You guys did not know that.
That's so
I'm
fucking sus.
I got a lot of, like, every person has dropped a piece of info for you guys that you have not known.
Yeah,
So-
I noticed that.
And this is after the council that...
This was after the meeting and after you had all been sent off into the mountains to help the trolls.
So, the council directed the Pale Scroll Order and the Temple of Palor to work together, and they actively barred you from working with them.
They did. We ended up having to do our research separate.
Even though the vote was...
That we were
Unanimous.
delayed. They would not let us within their walls. So my
When you
two paladins took it upon themselves to do an infiltration mission. May
Let's
I-
go, the POP!
Oh my god, Sam, what the fuck?
May I approach the bench with my own pieces of evidence?
Let's go!
Holy shit! Oh, they found
Brenda
something.
nods her head,
They
and this
found
old
something.
woman approaches, and she pulls something from her bag, wrapped in cloth, very clearly, and sets it on the judge's stand. Belindra removes the cloth, and I would like a perception check from all of you.
Oof, Orn failed it.
Fuck. I'll do inspiration.
Oh, that's not great.
Can I just take that 20 that I rolled?
Give myself guidance.
If you're gonna use inspiration, I'll give you the 20. So that would mean Wheat and Orn. You two are the ones who see it.
Oh.
Hold on. Here you go. Look at this. You see a strange mirror with black tentacles wrapping all around the handle and the frame of the mirror itself. It has these tentacles writhe and move beneath the cloth as it's moving, and you see them like grabbing and clutching onto this mirror. And you briefly see the surface, and on the other side you just see dark space. The Lindra quickly covers it back up.
Can I do a follow-up Arcana check?
Of course.
22.
This is a communication device. Like you, by looking at this mirror, seeing the writhing tentacles and the space on the other side, you think that this is a way to communicate with entities within the void. The same place where shit's crawling out of right now. She also presents a letter on the desk. And she presents another journal. A journal that was also read by you guys before. Here we found a communication device, and I admit what my paladins did was unethical. But we cannot refute that this is an occult artifact. This is something strange that even you would not contain. Perhaps you can tell me what it is. And she crosses her arms and looks deep at the mage in front of her.
Orn will put his hand up. Your Honor and your jury, I do possess the ability to cast Identify. So with everyone's permission, I will cast that on the communication device.
She gestures for you to come up to there immediately. Approach the stand now.
Okay, Orn will get up and approach the stand. And Identify takes about a minute, so I do need everyone's attention and complete quiet for about a minute, and then I'll
Why'd you look at me?
and then then the spell will be finished.
So you cast the spell, and it's like dead silence in the room as everyone's watching you. Like even Joffrey's standing up, trying to see what's going on.
Yeah.
The dwarf is the shadow jury is all standing like in their silhouetted form, trying to look and see what's going on. And I sent what the item is to the Discord chat.
Nice.
Paladins of Paylor did some fucking work, guys.
Yeah, what the hell?
Let's go, the POP!
Which, it totally makes sense. They're not
was
just gonna
so
stand around
ready.
and do nothing.
All fucking day for you guys to find out the Paladins did their own fucking infiltration mission.
Okay, so it's been a minute, and Orn will do encode thoughts, and a string will come out of his head. I do believe that this contains the information on what the item is, and I'll just drop it on the ground because they're mages, whatever. It is a it is a vortex mirror. It allows the user to gaze into other dimensions and communicate with entities within the void, which seems like those are the entities that are currently attacking the town of North Strand and the Troll tribes.
And
so
Belinda,
this could be a connection to the umbral elixir that has infected. What was her name? The second witness.
Sarah?
Sarah, the second witness, and our very own Adriel. That is all I have. Thank you. And then Orton will sit back down.
The defense immediately is like, he is up, he throws his hands on like the table and he's like, and where exactly did they find that in the Pale Scroll Order? Did they tell you? Because this is concerning. It means that there's cult activity going on beneath my client's nose. And Joffrey will finally stand up and he speaks. I need to know where that was found and who is responsible. All of the people I'm responsible for at the Pale Scroll Order could be in danger if this is truly a cult artifact.
Hold on. I need to check something. Can we like pause on this moment for a second? I need to make sure I can't just like cast a spell at him to make sure he's not like lying or something.
You can't.
He's also not in the zone of truth.
Yeah, he's not in the zone of truth. So like, there might be. I think. Oh, I could teleport him into the zone of truth.
Let's not.
Oh shit.
Why not?
This is a whole. He's gonna go up on the stand too. Don't worry.
All right, yeah.
All right.
Can I know who casted the zone of truth? Because
It's like a permanent enchantment in the ground.
Okay, but who's like relaying back? Like, okay, they chose to fail it because I believe Joffrey.
I think everyone in the room can see if you failed it.
Try to pass it. Okay.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure that, like, yeah, everyone in the room can tell.
I thought
If
it
not,
was
we can
just the
magic
caster
roll.
of the spell.
I mean, we can say that the rune like changes color or something.
Yeah, I mean, you're the DM, so you can change it to be like whatever.
Honestly, like, I'll probably have it to where, like, everyone in the room can just tell because the magic is that strong.
Gotcha.
But
For reference, for you though, Patty, it is you know whether the creature succeeds, not everybody.
right.
This is just a fancy fun spell that displays itself.
Yeah. Mages aren't supposed to have zone of truth.
I don't know where my boys found this, in all honesty. I don't know which room. I just know that they brought it to me and called it evidence. They are currently aiding with the dashing blades to get ready for the rescue of Whitwallow.
Rescue of who?
That other town that was all fucked up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
May the court send someone to fetch one of these paladins to bear witness, Your Honor?
I think the Reverend Mother's testimony will work well enough. And I would like some opposed persuasion checks.
For everyone?
Gotta beat a 13. Let's go.
Is this for everyone or just GLJ?
Just GLJ.
Okay.
The court will allow it. I will send someone to fetch one of these paladins now. And Isolde, like, she kind of, like, whisks somebody over, and, like, somebody, like, she whispers in their ear, and you see them, like, take off out of the courtroom. They will be returning after our recess.
Or are we having a recess?
Finally, after our infiltration mission, and some of my priests being sent to go and aid with the dragon and missing sky and keep our eyes on the ever-growing distrustful Mages Guild, we did find this book, which suggested they were going to summon in a false moon. I pleaded with them not to summon in something so unnatural. And I was told that it would only help. And that the person, Lily, who was going to be summoning in the moon, along with one of her companions, had already left. Unfortunately, the moon was summoned in before they even reached the peak of the mountain, as you can recall. They were going up to check on it. I'm sorry? I was under the impression that Lily was going to summon in the moon. My apologies. Time is strange. And then Isolde will speak. Does anyone have any more questions for the Reverend Mother?
Reverend, in your opinion, you've lived in this town a while. I assume you've had dealings with Joffrey in the past before all of this.
I have.
Do you believe that his demeanor and his actions have changed as of late?
I would say so. I remember being much younger than I am now, and I always thought he was respectable, which is why I went to him first when this guy went missing.
But you could say that your opinion and your feelings about him have changed as of late due to his actions? Or lack thereof?
I would say his lack of action has made me question him. I would also like to say, when he brought Lily on as his second in command, it seems as if he got lazy with his own guild.
And, Reverend, if one of your paladins or someone below you did the things that Lily had done, would you feel personally responsible for allowing that to happen under your watch?
Of course, it is my duty to protect my people, and my people is everyone in Northstrand. So if somebody who answers to me is causing harm, I am partially responsible.
That is all, thank you.
Would you also agree that you would take action immediately if you knew? I would. Thank you, that's all.
Wait, what? wait.
I'm gonna come back
Was one
later.
of those the defendant?
That was the defense.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so she gets up and she leaves. I will make sure my one of my boys at least gets to you.
Thank you.
We
POP.
have one more living
P.O.P.
witness called in, and he is on his way.
Pop up on us.
And that is the High Druid of the Circle of Stars, Nelizos. Please approach. And from the back, you see that giant satyr rise. Hold on 1 second.
Ooh, he's a satyr. Bah!
And so this giant satyr man rises, and he starts walking down and walks into the zone of truth. Now give me 1 second.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
gonna roll.
I gotta roll twice though, you don't understand.
You don't understand. Uh-oh.
Alright. So you immediately watch him walk in. And you can see these golden seals on the floor flash with a color of light. He looks down at it quickly as he passes the check. But suddenly, his eyes fog over and he falls flat onto his back.
Huh?
And his eyes close. What's going on? Why? What's happening? And a few mages rushes over to the satyr, and they start checking on him and whatnot. And he opens his eyes, and you see the gold seals on the bottom of the floor. They dissipate as he has now failed the check a second time. Where am I? What's going on? Who are you people? I don't... Where am I? What's happening?
May I, while this is going on, I would
Excuse me,
like
Sam.
to...
Yeah, can we do some checks?
I would like to do a perception check on
I would like to do an
Joffrey.
Arcana check.
Of course. Please.
Can I use inspiration to take that 25?
Sure.
And I am watching Joffrey.
Alright. I'm gonna start with Orn. Orn, you watch him go in. You watch him pass his check. You see a moment of panic. And then you see, like, when he falls to the ground, you can see the magical traces of a magical effect leaving his body. Like a spell has just released Nelizos.
And would I know what this magical effect was? Would it be like a possession or an enchantment spell?
It is a possession spell.
Wait. So it's a possession spell. So it's not
Yep.
necessarily a ghost taking over, it's someone else spelling.
It's somebody else operating him from a different location.
Okay. Ooh.
So you watch as he drops. GLJ, you watch as Joffrey sees, like, the light glow, and then him hit the ground, and then you see the light dissipate as that spell releases, and Joffrey looks confused. He looks concerned, and he looks straight to the exit of the courtroom.
Okay.
Your Honor,
guess-
I do not believe that he will have any information for, I believe that was just a possession spell.
Maybe
And
you're,
then little gasps happen all around this courtroom. Where am I? I was on my way. I need to go and help my druids. I need to know that they made it safe to North Strand.
what was the last thing you remember?
Oof, that is a long time.
I was a part of a second group heading to North Strand. I need to know where I am and what's going on.
You were in the city of Endofis. We are conducting a trial against Joffrey and the Pale Scroll Order for their negligence and
One will raise his
nefarious
hand.
actions.
That's where my druids are. Are they safe? I got a letter from RL and Horror telling me that I needed to be there immediately as where did
Your
Eclipse
Honor,
make it?
perhaps we could have two whispers come back, and they can
He was
chat.
okay. I know he was one of my missing. I got my letter asking for help and that the people here desperately needed to understand what was going on. We were on the road. I was with Eclipse, and I told her to rush forward ahead. There were corpses all across the ground rising from the dead. Mind flares. I remember a mind flare attack. I remember more than that. There was a lanky, tall, pale person in a cloak. He wore a mask. It looked like the theater comedy mask. He was ordering the mind flayers. I remember that. I stayed behind to fight them off and making sure Eclipse could make it to town before I did. I fought as the comedy mask person shrank to the size of a gnome and disappeared, and the last I remember. I Are all of my druids accounted for? I need to know that they're safe.
Yes, sir. They are all accounted for. We have 2 whispers here. He was a witness in the trial, and he has helped us immeasurably.
Thank you. Joffrey, are you on the defense side? What's going on? I am. I wasn't aware you weren't you.
Joffrey, would you mind stepping into the zone of truth and repeating that?
I would mind, actually.
Well, I guess we
I
can say
am
that.
watching my friend wake back up after talking to him about delicate information. I don't know what was revealed to possibly a cult member.
I'm just gonna cast Zone of Truth.
Are you gonna cast it on him?
Yeah.
That sucks. What's my save?
14.
Oh.
Hey,
Fuck.
You know that he willingly passed his check, that he did not fail it, so he can say whatever he wants, but you know that he could say whatever.
Joffrey, if you have nothing to hide, why not just step into the zone of truth?
Quite frankly, because I don't know you people, and I don't know if you're working with the other side. You did have a companion vanish who you claim works for a demon queen. How am I supposed to know that you weren't the cult members?
okay,
All right,
well,
cool.
we're not the people
No,
on
shut
trial,
up.
are we?
I'm just saying, when we swear into trials, if they go, do you swear to tell the truth? I've heard this from someone, trust me. And you say no, you go straight to jail for contempt of court. They don't go, okay, never mind.
You want me to step into the zone of truth? Fine. And he walks up and he steps in the zone of truth. And this time he willingly fails.
Again, were you aware that this man has been possessed?
I had no knowledge of when this man was possessed.
When? But did you know that he was? Yes or no?
I cannot say for certain that I did or did not know.
Okay, so you knew,
So you knew.
and you were full of shit about 75 seconds ago.
My friend was acting strange. I had a feeling it was not him.
You met this man in the mask before, Joffrey? Yes or no? Please just say yes or no.
No.
Well, that's
And
good.
Joffrey, were you just about to lie to the court?
I cannot lie to the court in the zone of truth.
No, I mean before you were in the zone of truth.
I planned on concealing information from you.
What
You have
information?
made it
Why would you
clear
do
that
that?
Yeah, why?
point blank, you have been campaigning against me in the Pale Scroll Order from the moment you got there.
And is
Oh,
it,
Oh,
is
so
it
you
not
thought-
obvious why?
So you thought it would help your case if you just lied during
I
the
don't
trial?
trust you. It's not often strangers come in so accusatory. And I understand now that Lily's actions would have made you suspicious. At
And you
that
knew-
time, my priority was protecting my members. And now my priority is protecting myself from those who are clearly out to get me.
I just find it strange that your order that you are in charge of seems to have been wholly focused on investigating lycanthropy as well as summoning false moons. Where were you this whole time? What were you focusing on?
I was studying the sky. As you recall, lycanthropy was Lily's subject alone, which is why no one else interfered with it. And as you also recall, it seems as if Lily is the figurehead for all of this.
So you believe that when someone working below you is investigating something as dangerous as lycanthrope, that you can just step aside and turn a blind eye and not do anything to observe it?
I'll admit my priorities were distracted.
But you were investigating the sky. Does that mean that you were the one who summoned the false moon?
I summoned the false moon based on text provided by Lily as a means to help.
Provided by Lily, so it's almost like she's taken over the Pale Scroll Order.
Yeah, do you follow Lily's orders?
I trusted Lily as a friend and more.
And more?
And more?
Are these
Were you and Lily lovers?
Something of a sort.
Whoa!
Whoa.
That's a wild twist. I was not expecting that.
So you were in bed with Lily, but you claimed that you had no idea what she was up to on a day-to-day basis, working directly underneath you.
Do you monitor each other all day long? I don't think so. I didn't watch her activities all day long.
Did you watch her activities even for like a moment?
No, you only watch them all night long, apparently.
I'm so sorry. I'm like trying to keep like a straight fucking voice. We had not shared a bed for a little while. We were both obviously preoccupied with other things, such as the crisis at hand. I suggest we get back to questioning Nelizos on anything else.
May I ask, did you know Lily was a werewolf?
And he stops and he pauses, and you tell he's thinking.
Right punch. He knows he's trying to walk.
Yes or no question. Your Honor, can't you see that this man is working so diligently to avoid answering these questions?
I knew of her intentions to become a werewolf, to study lycanthropy deeper. I do not know when she infected herself, but I do know it had to have come after the orc boy showed up.
And you approve of your mages turning themselves into werewolves? You think that's a good idea?
I do not.
So why did you allow it to happen under your watch?
I loved her, and I trusted her judgment, which was obviously a mistake.
A mistake that should have consequences, correct?
I agree.
What about that mirror, Joffrey? Have you ever seen it before?
I have not.
And he's still in the zone of truth?
He is still in the zone of truth.
Interesting.
Okay, did you know about the mirror, even if you haven't seen it?
Hold on, guys. I'm trying to figure out how to word this.
Yeah. knows. Because he knows. We totally got him. We totally know.
I know that several mirrors like these can be used. I didn't know of this specific mirror.
Oh, so you have more than one?
Well,
I
it's
am
a communication
certain
device,
mages.
so you would have to have more than one GLJ.
I am certain many mages, including many mages of this room, have communication devices, and many of which that are mirrors. They are one of the easiest items to enchant into a communication device. Thalindra, do you not have one yourself? I do.
Felindra, does yours have tentacles?
It does not.
Is it the vortex mirror?
So did you know of anyone specifically in the Pale Scroll Order who had an interest in obtaining and using this mirror?
Many mages obtain and use mirrors for this reason.
I said this mirror.
Vortex mirrors.
That mirror, specifically, no. I want to fucking chat a spoiler so fucking bad right now.
Oh,
I'm just like sweating. I'm like, please.
I love that game.
How many vortex mirrors do you know about?
There could be hundreds, for all I know.
But for what you do know, like 100%, you do know about how many? This one, obviously, and
I don't know how many others there are.
Do you know of any other than this specific one?
I know of other communication mirrors, yes.
Have you ever used a communication mirror to speak into the void? Communicate with the void?
I have used a communication mirror to speak in multiple places.
What about the void?
Are you asking me about the astral sea?
No, the
abyssal
void.
realm? The void is a space that fills up between many dimensions. I think it is impossible to not use a communication mirror and have contact with the void.
What's the other mage's name?
Lily,
The-
or
there's a
The
lot
one
of
that-
mages in the room.
Yeah.
there's so many mages in the room.
The one that he spoke to about having a mirror?
Oh, Thalindra, she's the High Judge.
Oh, Felindra, Your Honor, have you ever communicated into the void using a mirror? Is this something that is common?
It is not common, but I can say if you call upon a recipient who's not answering, it does go to a space that is like the void.
Has elevator
Similar.
music.
And Joffrey, you said something about an abyssal void. How about that one?
Are you talking about the realm where aberrations lie?
Sure.
I'm certain when I was a young mage, playing around with communications, I have.
When was the last time you communicated with an aberration?
Directly? I don't know.
Or indirectly? Does that mean it may have been recently?
I would have to say the werewolf attack was my most recent interaction with an aberration, seeing as she became a void monster herself.
The one you loved.
The one I loved.
And how do you feel about
Transformed into a monster. I feel sad.
He's confused.
that? I actually
Joffrey.
do
I'm
have
hurt
another
that I
question.
know that she is going to die soon
Do
because of her actions that have put us all at risk.
Joffrey, let's take it back a step. When you spoke to the mother of Palor, the Reverend Mother, and you assured her that you were investigating. Well, I guess not then, but after, were you aware that despite the council's direct order to work with the mages of the priests of Palor, that they were denied entry to your order?
Unfortunately, I did not know, as I had Lily fronting all outside communications as I was busy trying to figure out what to do and what research must be done. I was very much so occupied by myself. It was Lily's job, as my second in command, to figurehead people coming in and out of the Pale Scroll Order. I had nothing to do with it.
Sounds like you were the second.
Yeah, sounds like you were the second in command.
My attentions were more important elsewhere, seeing as I am a higher ranking mage than she was. I did
What?
not have time to trouble myself talking to people.
And what did you succeed on anything?
We succeeded on summoning in the false moon, which was supposed to help remedy the situation.
And whose idea was that again?
Lily's, obviously.
So you haven't done anything other than just follow Lily's orders.
And may
I followed
ask
Lily's
something?
advice.
Joffrey, do you know about the Umbral Elixir?
I did not know about the Umbral Elixir.
And you know now because we
been
brought
once.
it to evidence in the
Werewolves.
court? When did you learn about it?
I learned about it when the first of the afflicted started showing it.
And how did you learn about it?
The same way we all learned about it. It started as a sickness. Obviously, most didn't know its name.
But when, yeah, exactly. But so when did you learn what it was?
I'm sorry, would you be able to rephrase that question? I think I've already answered this.
The mother asked you a day after the sickness came to look into it. And you're sitting here telling me that you knew what it was, but you didn't study it or put any work or effort into knowing what it was.
Of course I studied it.
So
Don't be
when
a
did you
fool.
learn exactly the name and the components and what it does? Exactly.
I don't know the components. Its name was revealed here. It was pretty easy to see what it did after observing the effects of those who it affected.
Okay,
And
he learned that
As you
the
guys
name
are like going through
was
this motion,
Boo.
the defense lawyer, his hands are on his head.
Because he's stressed.
Well, he's so fucking stressed. He's like, my fucking client's running his goddamn fucking mouth.
Okay, that.
As I am
that's-
aware, I should have my own time to make my defense. I am being interrogated up here as it is time for the witnesses. And, like, at this point, you can also see that Nelizos has kind of been guided away. He's like, where the fuck am I?
Poor Nelizos.
Yeah, I know. This poor fucking dude just, like, woke up in the middle of, like, a fucking courtroom. Is this not misconduct? Do I not get a defense?
That's up to your defense.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like your defense is doing anything to help you, so.
I think I'd like to call for that recess now.
Objection, Your Honor? We're onto something?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I feel like we're really close to making a breakthrough.
I think we should call this proceed with your defense, Joffrey. He crosses his arms. Have any more questions then?
Hey,
Obviously, I'm having to stand up here and defend myself as I'm the one in the zone of truth.
So, Joffrey, you believe you've been negligent?
I do believe I've been negligent.
Do you believe negligence should be punished?
I do.
Do you believe
If
you
it were
should
anyone-
keep the Pale Scroll Order after this?
Could you repeat that? I totally cut out.
Do you believe you should keep the Pale Scroll Order after this?
No, in fact, I plan on resigning.
Hey, that's fine with me.
Maybe we're really after the wrong guy.
No, we're not. We're prosecuting Lily. Lily is 100% guilty, and we got Joffrey to quit his job, which is what we wanted.
I got a question. What was like the estimated death toll for that massacre the other night?
Oh, it was like a fuck ton. I think it was,
It was 35.
like 60 people. Because there was like
Right?
50 people in the upper part, then there was like 20 people on the lower, and then there was people still being wheeled in like on wheelbarrows to the church to be prepared.
Okay,
Like,
I got a question. I got a question for this bitch.
yeah, let's go.
What do you think the proper punishment is for negligence that leads to the death of 60 plus people?
I imagine another investigation must be incurred. And I imagine that this other investigation would prove my innocence.
I'm not
Um,
asking about you. I'm saying
That I should be held in end office until these investigations are finished. And I would gladly undergo more interrogation to clear my name. I don't mind serving time. I don't mind paying reparations to the families. I bear responsibility for the massacre that happened because of my negligence. That is a fact I will not run from.
good.
However, evidence here suggests Lily acted on her own and betrayed me and betrayed end office and our order.
Do you have any idea why?
I do not claim to know the intentions of her actions.
Do you have any insight? She was your lover, after all.
I fear that she may have been manipulating me.
Manipulated by who?
Her?
He was manipulated by her?
Yeah.
No, we know that. No, do you have any other information? Because you already said that you're already concealing information, or were planning to.
Simply because you had an associate who was affiliating with demons. I've heard strange reports on you, Orn, and the havoc you have caused. I don't know whom I can trust.
For the record, I am barely affiliated with these people.
And yet you are touched by the Shadowfell, something that Adriel specifically works with. How am I supposed to know that you didn't pass on her
Adriel
Shadowfell?
is sanctioned to work at
Right, this-
with the Shadowfell.
Yeah.
Not all deep gnomes are Shadowfell.
And Adriel's like, Shadowfell study is legal.
Your Honor, what are the laws behind studying lycanthropy? Is there any guidelines as to how that should be conducted?
Lily was sent from the city of Endofis to go and investigate lycanthropy. I will admit, and she was sent about 10 years ago, simply because it was her field of study. We always act within the ethical and moral realms of society, which means consent to being tested on. It means thorough study before involving patients. And more importantly, it means not causing a goddamn disaster with a death toll above the 50s.
And it was Joffrey's job to make sure these guidelines were being followed.
It was.
And
Joffrey, do you believe you followed these guidelines?
I did not follow those guidelines as I was more involved in studying the crisis going on at hand. I did not know Lily would continue her research into lycanthropy entirely.
Who did you interact with? Did you just seclude yourself in your office every day and not watch over anything that happened?
I didn't oversee as much as I was supposed to, I'll admit. And that was negligence on my part. And poor leadership. I was working under intense circumstances. I think everyone in this room would agree. These circumstances are intense. We have a rune making noise, and these runes are scattered across the world. Let us not forget. And we had the first one to activate. And what does it do? It sucks the life from the land with this umbral elixir. It was my job to oversee how that was going.
To oversee the rune draining the life of the land.
So then why would you bar the access of those you were instructed to work with?
As you recall, it was not me who barred access.
It was Lily.
We are standing around here, bumbling around. Yes, I admit my fault, and I would plead guilty to the negligence and pay reparations, serve time, whatever needed to be done to atone for my part. But the real culprit is out there running around, possibly slaughtering more. Are we not going to forget that?
I don't believe I ever will forget that, Joffrey.
Yet you are all concerned about the puny hows and whys and the negligence of my job. Yes, there was negligence. And I will atone for it. I am still doing what I believe is right.
Perhaps there is still some work you can do for us.
And what would that be?
Do you believe you could stop Lily?
Yes.
The fuck are we doing here then?
Your Honor, would it be possible for Joffrey to accompany us?
Isolde immediately steps in. I don't think Joffrey should be allowed to wander freely. I think he needs to be held in Endofis.
What do you mean, girl? We got Lily's lover on our side.
I don't... Point blank, I think he needs to be held here. I think there would be too much risk factor in sending him out while many investigations still need to happen, Your Honor.
Perhaps she's right.
I actually do agree with this old. Joffrey needs to stay in the office. In the cells. The ones that drain your mana. Every
We perhaps-
day.
Put him under the jail.
Could we perhaps
All of
have
the
a
was gone in the blink of an eye.
communication mirror with Joffrey in case we do encounter Lily? If we are able to communicate with her, we could perhaps be able to put Joffrey on the mirror to persuade her.
It could be permitted. I think now is a good time for a recess. There was a lot of information that the court needs to review. Do not wander far. There are refreshments in the hallway. We will gather again in 30 minutes.
Thank
And
you, Your Honor.
Belinda stands up and she calls upon like the two judges with her, and they both all three of them teleport out of the room. You see the shadow jury gets up and kind of dissipates around the room, and they're still in this strange like silhouette form. Like you can't see any defining features. They literally look like just silhouettes. You can't even see like elven ears. You can't see horns. They just look like a blob. You see that the people in the stands kind of get up and wander around. Kyodor immediately runs forward, and Joffrey is taken in magical handcuffs somewhere else by another mage.
Neat.
Goodness. What the hell was happening in Northstrand, Orn?
Oh, this is during the recess?
Yeah, so like you guys, there's gonna be some events that happen during the recess, don't you worry.
Well, now I am worried.
So I think like you guys are all still kind of at that table, and that's when like Kyodor like rushes around and he's like asking that question.
A lot of fucked up shit happened at Northstrand, not gonna lie, dude.
This is bad.
Is that not obvious? This shit, like, that city is gonna have to be, like, cut down or something. Too much bad JoJo.
Jojo?
Mm-hmm.
Juju?
Bad juju.
Bad Jojo.
Bad JoJo. Like JoJo Siwa as of late.
Oh my
much
god, don't
JoJo
even get me
Siwa.
started.
Honestly, I think this is all on purpose, and it's just like a radical image change campaign. Because nobody's looking at JoJo Siwa like she's some girl from Dance Moms anymore, that's for sure.
That's definitely true. The stupid fucking her drinking tequila and groping herself. Oh,
What?
I missed a
the
few chapters.
secondhand embarrassment that I feel.
It's like, because remember, like, Miley Cyrus basically did this too.
Yeah.
And now she's very respected as an adult entertainer and no longer just some kid from Disney Channel.
That is true. Like after her crazy party scene like thing, she became like a respected artist. Like
Yeah, but JoJo Siwa did work on fucking Alan Thicke or Rob.
Robin Thicke, yeah, what the fuck? Did you guys see the meat canyon of JoJo Siwa?
That song.
Yeah, they took it down. I wonder if they got it back up.
Fuck, I didn't know they took it down.
No. It's not
They claimed copyright on it.
Real, that's ridiculous. I'm surprised Taylor Swift didn't do that to the Taylor Swift Meat Canyon. That one was really good. I liked that one a lot.
I think Taylor Swift is more aware of the Streisand effect.
That's true.
Definitely. Okay, so back to the meeting. Perhaps, you guys should take a moment, freshen up, do whatever it is that you need to do. As always, I'm right behind you.
What are the refreshments they have?
You guys know the mage table from WoW, where there's like a whole bunch of different stuff. There's like a punch bowl, there's a whole bunch of little finger cakes and finger sandwiches, little pastries, cold cuts. Like it's basically like a large charcuterie board with like a couple different punches.
I'll just be snacking on that, but there's nothing that looks like chicken or turkey or duck, right?
Please
You could
say
see
yes.
like chicken cubes and like turkey cubes.
I'll avoid those.
Okay, that's fair. By any chance, are any of you guys wandering by yourselves?
Can I follow Joffrey?
Yeah, Joffrey is being held in like a cell like right next to the courtroom. So like he's sitting there and like there's like a mage guard outside who's like with his back against the door as he's wearing magical handcuffs and stuff.
GLJ is just staring through the bars.
And hey Wheat, can you do me a favor? Can you just roll a perception check?
A perception check?
Yes, please. Just you.
Where'd she go?
Rip.
That one.
Yeah, that's okay.
Wheat's actually got her eyes closed. Apparently.
Wheat's taking a nap.
So Wheat, instead you'll get like almost like a magical knock on your door, like in your mind. Somebody is trying to send a message spell to you. Would you like to receive it?
Sure.
Meet me in the hallway. I need to speak with you. And this voice, surprisingly enough, sounds like 1,000 voices all mixed together. There's men's tones, there's women's tones, there's all these different pitches and everything else that happen in your mind.
Okay.
So do you get up for yourself?
I don't feel like I'm in a position to reject things. Probably still.
So you walk out into the hallway and you see that there is one of those shadowy blobs, that one of the shadow jurors that's looking at you and gestures for you to come over.
Okay. I walk over.
And it leads you kind of through like a twisty little bit of halls until you're completely alone with it.
Ooh.
There's the session plans. Give me 1 second. I have to go and look at your specific thing.
Oh, shadow
I know
over.
you are a stranger to this group. And I know that you are clearly afflicted with the Shadowfell. It's plain to see. I can get you help. I know Adriel has already made a promise. But if you look at her, her life force is ticking down like a clock. Her time's gonna run short and then you'll be alone. It is pretty clear to me and a few others that you're being used by these so-called heroes to help prosecute an innocent man, instead of the true villain, the werewolf running a rampage. You are likely going to be brought up as a character witness for them, seeing as you've just met them. I can promise you information from a stronger Shadowfell caster and quite a handsome sum of gold, as long as you tell the truth about the party's misdeeds. Can you do that?
I mean, yes, but I don't know much about them.
I'm certain you've gotten some dirt. I think they're unreliable witnesses, and I think you're being abused.
I think I'm being abused, but I don't think it's them. That's a whole other thing.
Here, why don't you take some of this gold as good faith money? I'm certain this party isn't all good. I'm certain you've seen some not so savory things that we would like mentioned. And you
He
get
snatches that gold so fast.
you've got 25 coins of good faith money. Sorry.
Nice.
And you see like the shadow kind of walks back into like, you know, that hallway where like the refreshments are and everything. And then you see several of these other shadows kind of like moving around and like it just blends. Completely blends in. Orin is at the table eating. I think GLJ is approaching Joffrey in his holding cell. Valera's still sitting with Tumbly wherever Tumbly's at. And speaking of which, Tumbly, somebody's trying to cast the message spell at you.
Ooh, fun.
Would you like to accept?
Yeah.
You've been around these people for quite some time. I think we need to discuss something together. Please meet me in the hallway.
Ooh. Okay, so I head to the hallway.
And you see another one of those shadowy blobs turn a corner and peek around to make sure you're following.
Oh, yeah, I'm following. Sorry.
And so it kind of leads you to another secluded area. But this time it, like, kind of, like, looks around.
Do I walk up to it? What do I do? Yeah, okay, I walk
You're
up
going
to
to be brought up again, you know, back into the zone of truth. It seems that there's been some tension between you and some of the other members of this group. It's so crucial to tell the truth, as obviously this tragedy has caused so many problems. Whispers have it that Owen's practicing a forbidden magic. I think it needs to be brought to the court's attention, because perhaps you are also being manipulated by somebody who's using forbidden magics, trying to pass the blame and eye off somewhere else. It's very strange that somebody who's doing something wrong is whistleblowing, especially after not even acting under his own mentor's guidance. Instead, he turns to a Shadowfell sorceress, and while yes, Shadowfell magic is allowed, it can very easily branch off into worse things. Your truth is so required. I think, you're somebody who respects strength, yes?
Yeah.
I know people who could easily get their hands on some very mighty fine magic weapons. And I think, some gold is in order, if you tell the truth. You don't owe those people any loyalty, especially after they've acted so strangely. Here, take this as some good favor money. And perhaps there's more if the truth comes out. And
Oh
you get
my
a
God.
small pouch of 25 gold.
Ooh, yeah, could put that in my
25 gold?
25 gold.
Oof.
Everyone in the party can go ahead and roll another perception check.
Maybe I'll do better this time.
16's really good, actually.
Damn, Orin. Sucks.
So Orin doesn't see shit. He's very invested in the refreshment bar.
Yeah.
The rest of you guys, though, however, like, as you're kind of wandering about, you very clearly see Valera stop, and she looks around, like, very dramatically, like looking everywhere. And then you see, like, she makes eye contact with a shadow, and then you see her kind of march off. Very, very good, obviously.
Oh, so she had the same thing happen to her.
Yep. I think Wheat and Tumbler, you guys would, like, recognize it very quickly that she's having the very same exact experience that you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are more than welcome to follow or just let her go through her thing on her own.
I'm a follow.
I'm gonna let her.
Beautiful.
Fine,
I need
I'll
you to roll a
follow. I'll
stealth.
follow.
You guys, for everyone who's following, you can roll a stealth check to see if the Shadow and or Valera notice you.
Can you stealth? Oof. I'm just stomping.
And I think Valera will probably turn around hearing the stomping and she'll be like, "Oh, Dumbly, it seems that this juror wants to speak with me. Juror, are you okay talking with me and my companion here?" And the Shadow was like, "Oh, I simply wanted to warn of possible misdeeds against your tribe from the Mages Guild. It's not my business, I'm sorry." And the Shadow takes off.
Oof. Yeah.
And Valera crosses her arms and she's like, "I do not know what the Mages Guild would have done to my tribe, seeing as we are relatively isolated from the world, but that's a little concerning. They cast a spell that had a message in my head. It was quite strange."
Yeah, they did the same thing to me.
"Oh yeah? And what did they... What did they want?"
They offered me gold and magic weapons if I told the truth about who we're teamed up with. Especially the one that fries.
Strange. GLJ, you're there, by the way. Like, you probably have approached at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I hear that?
Yeah. That's... strange. I do not like that they approached us separately. I feel as if the magic is pretty indicative that we've already been telling the truth. Do you think... And she'll, like, get kind of close to Tumbly. "Do you think they know about the Crying One and some of his strange magics?
Yeah.
Or possibly the responsibility he bears in this situation?"
Yeah, they do know. They brought it up.
"Do we confess to the massacre then?"
I don't know, I'm still thinking about it.
"I do not do well under pressure. I'm obviously not used to this topside stuff.
Yeah, me either.
Do you think perhaps they spoke to Wheat as well, seeing as she was not a part of the originals?"
Yeah, I could
I
see
feel like
it.
we should talk to her. I think Valera will kind of like look around to see like if like Wheat's anywhere nearby. And then she'll probably catch a glimpse of GLJ. And like Valera kind of looks like a little like, "Fuck, do I talk to you right now or do I just go find Wheat?" Luminary? And she'll like nod her head and kind of look back at Tumbly.
I really don't know what we're supposed to do about this.
Perhaps we need to
Talking to GLJ.
speak all together. I will say I am not in agreement with what Orn did, as you all know. Should he be held responsible for his part?
Orange just like by the table eating like a kebab of fish.
Vibing?
Just vibing.
I believe that he believed he was doing the right thing, but so did Joffrey. And we believe Joffrey should be held accountable for his negligence.
It is his negligence that ultimately caused the massacre. Orn just forced the issue. How differently would this have gone? I wonder.
Only the gods know.
I do not know what to do. I worry that perhaps Wheat was also approached. Shall I bring Orn and Wheat back over here?
Sweet.
Just Wheat. Oh, understood. And so Valera will walk off to go find Wheat. That just leaves Tumbly and GLJ.
What
Are
do
you guys just
think,
waiting?
Crumbly? Should
Um,
we tell them what Orn did? I'm afraid if we don't, then we might be held accountable for it as well.
yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to decide what I'm gonna do.
And Valera, at this point, she's probably returning after she's found Wheat and asked Wheat to come with her. If Wheat does.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Cool. So the four of you guys are in this, like, empty little space by yourselves now. And I think, like, Valera kind of, like, approaches cautiously. Or if you would like, you can roll a perception check. If not, you can just, like, willfully ignore the fact that this is happening.
I mean, that's very tempting. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you don't see shit.
That's fine.
Like, this is one hella good fucking mage banquet. Let's go.
yeah, this doesn't even taste like conjured food.
Yeah, they got, like, the smells right and the textured right.
Yeah.
It's, like, perfect.
I'll grab 2 kebabs and like eat one on the way, and I'll go up to GLJ.
I'm not in the room.
Yeah, they're
Oh, I
off.
thought I was just like watching them. Like I
No,
thought we
they're
were
watching
like
the
all in the
fucking
same.
mage table.
They were in the hallway.
Yeah, like, so they turn, like, a few corners, like, down, like, different hallways, so, like, they're pretty far away.
If they are still in the hallway, then Then Orn would try to find the GLJ.
I'll probably have you roll an investigation check at disadvantage, because there's, like, a lot of shadows, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
A 10. Yeah.
Orin is just wandering the halls with
Yeah.
kebabs.
Yeah. How
That's
many hallways are there? Is there? I'll take the first one.
Okay, you go down, like, the first hallway, and, like, you can see, like, doors and other stuff. Definitely not down
I'll
this
open
one.
the first door.
You find, like, a janitor's closet. So, like, there's a whole bunch of, like, cleaning supplies.
Okay,
There's,
I'll
like,
close
a
that one and
mop.
then go on to the second one.
Oh my god!
And this
This
is,
is
like,
like my
it's like
home,
a-
so I would live. So I grew up here.
This looks like a consulting room.
It's the
Changing
what?
scene. It's like a consulting room, so like you can tell like this is where probably like a lawyer would meet with a client before like something happens.
And no one's in it.
There's no one's in it.
Okay, I'll shut it and go to the next one.
Congratulations, you found a bathroom.
Ooh, yeah, I will pee. I'll go in there.
Amazing.
But I do have the kebabs. No, I'll shut the door and go on to the next one.
Congratulations. This is the other bathroom. This is probably the women.
So this is the women's. Well, can't go
Yeah,
in
you
there.
can tell because there's like in this room there is like a potted plant on the counter, and like it just generally smells better.
Okay, sorry. And then I'll close the door and go into the next one. How many doors are there?
This is probably the last door in this hallway, and it's just
Okay.
another one of those little consulting rooms.
Okay, and then there were doors on the other side too.
Yes.
Okay, well I'll start going down those doors.
Okay, so the first door.
I think we can imagine what's going on with him for a bit.
I will jump back to it
that's
because
what's
we are going to
happening.
interrupt probably another trial happening. So in that hall, like in the secluded area where the four others are, Valera crosses her arms and she asks Wheat, did one of the shadow jurors perhaps bribe you as well? It just seems that me and Tumbly were approached, and I have a feeling you may have been as well.
Wheat responds. And what do I say? Yeah, they talked to me. They pulled me to the side and they gave me 15 GP. 15 gold.
Deception.
That's up to the DM.
You know, you lied.
Does anyone trying to see through the lie? I mean, technically speaking, like, I think you guys would have to roll an insight.
Yeah,
Unless,
I don't think I'm going to be questioning it.
yeah, I don't think Valera would be either. Humbly's like, fuck yeah, I got 25. That's what I would be thinking.
No, I'm
working-
gonna play the same game. I'm like, no, they only gave me 5.
Humbly's like, oh, I see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is concerning.
I wish I got my gold. Not that I could, but, you know, a little pocket change would have been nice.
You didn't get any gold?
No, actually, they just had pulled me over to a secluded area, and we heard Tumbly, and I greeted Tumbly, and the juror just took off, saying that perhaps that my tribe was in trouble from the Mages Guild, which felt more like a threat than anything.
Huh.
I didn't quite have a conversation, unfortunately. However, I think they are hoping that the three of us will testify against you, GLJ, and Orn. And knowing what we know, I'm concerned. I do feel as if he holds some responsibility in the situation. But at the same time, I don't know if this is the time or place.
I think maybe, though I believe Orn is somewhat responsible, I think the best way that we can seek justice is if we are able to track down Lily as fast as we can, and I think despite Orn's negligence, his magic would still be quite useful, especially with his knowledge of this situation. Perhaps we present that the jurors are trying to bribe you, and we, as much as I hate to throw out Joffrey's trial, I think he was just negligent, and nothing will come of holding him in a cell due to his negligence. So if we can get this, if we can just get a mistrial from these jurors trying to bribe witnesses, we can get back to hunting down Lily with Orn's help as quick as we can.
I think the most stressful part about these shadow jurors is we don't know if it's one juror or if it's multiple acting with that intent. And if that is the case, does the Mages Guild have worms throughout instead of just the Pale Scroll Order?
I mean, at this point, I don't think we can trust this jury, even if we don't present.
I mean, the trial is just for Lily.
At this point, yeah.
And it always was.
So
if Joffrey was going to be tried, it would be a separate trial.
yeah,
So
perhaps we just present that. And if it matters to you guys, I can give you the gold. I can reimburse you, and we can present the gold you were given.
I think
And-
Orn should reimburse me for my gold at the very least. Seeing as this is...
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's fine.
I do have enough gold, actually. Wheat. It would seem I only need 20 to reimburse you guys, so...
Ooh!
Perhaps we present the gold, and
Should have told the truth, huh?
we show them that the jury cannot be trusted, and we see to tracking down Lily at once.
I think that is the best course of action. We should probably wrap this trial up soon. I would hate to waste more time and have more innocents slaughtered, really.
yeah.
Perhaps we should find the judge right now.
I would be amenable to that. Should
Alright.
we bring Orn or let him continue what he's doing?
He doesn't know. Let's just keep him out of it.
He does have a tendency to blab.
He doesn't do himself any favors.
Never.
No.
Bet anything he's lost in a hallway right now.
I would like to
Um,
start with Orn opening up a random door.
Seeing as I'll go find Orn, and I'll keep him busy. You guys go find the judge, tell them what happened, and see if perhaps we can just get out of here. At this point I don't care what justice Joffrey seeks. It doesn't seem like it'll fix anything. If anything, him being out, he might actually have the opportunity to fix his negligence and help to bring Lily to justice.
We will go and find the judge. And she turns to Wheat and Tumbly and like nods her head and kind of just like marches off in like a random direction. And we'll cut over to Orn. So Orn, you open yet another random door. And as you open the door, you see another courtroom. And you see a judge slamming down a hammer. Guilty! Guilty! Guilty!
Well,
And, like,
that
you
seems
feel-
interesting.
you feel
Can I
amazed.
walk in and sit
It's right
down?
out.
It's a glimpse into your future.
No, I wasn't stealing. I'm sorry. You're going to mage jail, Sonny.
Wow.
And you see, like, the prosecution, they're, like, jumping and they're hugging each other. And this one mage is, like, crying out. And she's like, will I get my items back?
No.
Well,
No, you won't.
they were sold. And so the judge is like, take him away, boys. And you see two mage cops go and they take away this guy in cuffs.
Ooh, mage cops.
I want you to think of them like wearing like the wizard robes and the wizard's hat, but they have like the stupid badge on and like they have like the aviator glasses, but it's still just like a wizard. And they take away this crying mage who's just like sobbing.
Do I know the mage?
You do not know this mage. But you've probably like seen them around. Like you wouldn't know their name, but you would have seen them in the city.
Are they older or are they younger?
They're definitely older. Like this is somebody who's probably stolen a lifetime worth of goods.
Oh, okay.
This is not like his first offense. It's like he's like a geezer, and like the two mage cops like walk, but like they walk down the aisle, and like, did you end up like taking a seat, or like, are you just still standing at the door?
Yeah, I'm still taking a seat. I'm still
Okay.
eating my kebab and keeping the other kebab in my other hand.
You're going away for a long time. You can't keep doing this, pal. I can't help
This is
it.
the 85th time.
Magical artifacts, just I need them. Get a job like the rest of us. And they take them away, fries, and like everyone's kind of starts to clear out of this room. Wow, that was pretty eventful. Oh yeah, this is the third trial I've been to for this guy. Good old Danny, man.
Ooh,
Must have
Danny
stolen
the
something.
Phantom. I know Danny the Phantom, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call him, because, like a phantom, he goes inside of people's dorms, their apartments, their houses, and just steals their magical artifacts. This one must have been a pretty expensive one. It
Ooh, what was
like-
this one? What was this one?
was a crystal wand, handmade, pulled from a dragon's lair. Crazy.
Ooh.
Worth
And the
a fuck
evidence was
load.
behind the door where they take the...
Oh, no,
Take
it
it,
was
Mike.
sold. Unfortunately, this
It
guy... all of
was
his gold
sold?
stuff
He
is-
sold it already?
Yeah.
Oh
Nuts.
my lord.
Got a buyer outside of the city.
Well, some rich man is gonna have a lot of fun with his wand tonight, I guess.
Yeah, you know those dirty old men playing with wands.
Playing with wands. Everyone loves their wand.
Yeah, can't stop fucking around with your wand.
Oh, this one's hard. This one's soft. This one's
It was-
rubbery. Oh, just
That one
get
was,
that over with. I
pretty
don't
long
like
and
wands. I
hard,
like
as far as I've heard.
staffs. Staffs are like longer wands.
Oh, could you imagine if it was a staff? That would have been extra long
Oh,
and
that would
extra
have been
hard.
so good. He would have.
No.
He would have gotten caught so fast though.
Oh yeah. He would have been doing double time for
Yeah, it's
sure.
so hard to hide the staff.
He probably wouldn't have lasted as long either.
Yeah. Did you hear about this second trial? It was a gun.
I wish I was at that one. Unfortunately, I had school, so I
Oh,
had
that's
to...
wild. What are you majoring in?
Oh, I do illusion magic.
Oh, illusionist. Oh, you motherfucker.
What's your name, pal? I don't think I've seen you in class.
Oh no, yeah, I took evocation magic up until recently.
Oh, okay. And you've got kind of like worn robes. Have you been in the field? Did you get one of the field assignments? That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I'll take a bite out of my kebab. I was actually sent to Northstrand and
Oh shit! So you're probably here for that trial from the Pale Scroll Order.
oh yeah, did you hear about that one?
Oh, I mean, it was between this one and the Pale Scroll, and like the Pale Scroll one sounded real serious versus the long hard wand. the
Oh yeah, that
debacle.
one's gonna take forever, dude. I wish it was like this one where it was like fast, like oh you're guilty after 2 seconds. It was great.
It was pretty clear. I mean,
But I
Danny
mean,
the Phantom
it is
is
Danny
away
the
from
Phantom. I mean, come on.
there was no way he was gonna get away. No.
Oh,
way.
you're an illusionist. No wonder why you like that. Oh, that makes so much sense.
All right. Okay. We gotta be buddies. We'll catch up for a drink later.
Oh, you want to meet down by the Wizard's Toe?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, yeah, I can be there at 8.
Okay. My name's Brybane, by the way.
Brybank?
Brybane, Bribane. I have to fucking write his name down really fast. And he's a half elf. He's got his hair. Hold on, I'll send you his full name. Thank you, Fantasy Name Generator, for always helping me out.
Right?
We'll catch up for drinks. Maybe next semester we could take a class together. And like, I would love to see you at some more of these trials. I mean, this is such a fun time, isn't it?
Brybane. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me get him in my... Yeah, I actually won't be in school next semester because I graduated to apprentice last year, so...
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
that's why I'm out in the field. But, good luck on your illusionism. I can meet you by the Wizard's Toe, for sure.
Wonderful. I'll see you later, my friend.
Yeah, and we'll do a wizard like handshake, and then
Hell.
walk off.
I'm gonna do a keg stand. He walks away.
Hell yeah!
And I think GLJ, you can see Orin probably trickling out of one of these courtrooms.
I'll be the last person out of the courtroom.
Fuck yeah.
And as I exit, I just finished my kebab.
The first one or the second?
My first one.
Wonderful. It's pretty easy for you to spot GLJ as well. I mean, he's a gold dragon.
Oh hey, I was just looking for you. So I'll go up to GLJ, and I'll offer him the kebab that I didn't eat. Here, try this, GLJ. It's really good.
I will. I start eating it.
It's a fish kebab. I already ate mine. I'll just throw my stick, leftover stick, just on the ground.
Hey, don't let her. Pick that up.
No. Watch. I wait.
You see this stick, because it was magically conjured, it just kind of slowly starts to disappear.
Whoa. Is the food gonna do that in my stomach?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, GLJ will eat his kebab in one fell swoop and throw his stick on the ground.
And it too slowly starts to disappear. But you still feel full.
It's almost as good as my dad's kebabs.
Almost as good, yeah. Anyway, I think the trial's going pretty good. I think it's going pretty good. I was very surprised about the Paladin secret mission.
Yeah,
That
the
was
POP,
crazy.
really. Unfortunately, it does seem that Joffrey didn't really do anything other than just be negligent.
Well, yeah, the whole time, he didn't really do that much, yeah. But he definitely doesn't. He definitely deserves to lose his guild,
Yes.
and
And it
I
seems-
really don't believe that he doesn't know as much as he's giving off. Because you gotta be close to someone to, you know.
Yeah, but I think it's that closeness that is why he's hiding things. I think honestly, he seems just embarrassed and ashamed, and it doesn't seem like he really personally contributed to what Lily did.
Yeah.
I think we need to track down Lily as soon as we can.
It's crazy that she infected the kids. Can
Yeah.
you believe that?
I think that's what those smaller werewolves were, which is
Yeah.
going to prove difficult because I really don't want to have to hurt them, but there is no known cure for lycanthropy. So
They were
perhaps
monsters by the description.
even if we don't kill them, I mean, what are we subjecting them to anyway?
I mean, we're subjecting them to a life of just not knowing who you're going to tear up and kill your whole
Right.
life.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe they won't even turn back into a human because they had like tentacles and shit. Maybe that's just their permanent form now.
Certainly, probably under this false moon, I can't imagine that would allow them to transform back.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe he didn't look over the thing that Lily gave him. To think, oh, we want our moon back. Okay, let me give you a fake one. Like, really?
I think that just goes into his negligence. He just wanted to cut corners and outsource all his responsibilities.
Yeah, it's true.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hop over to another scene. Valera, Wheat, and Tumbly. You guys do manage to find one of the judges. It's not the high judge, but it was one of the other people sitting next to her. It is a red dragonborn wearing black robes, and like he kind of turns and he like greets you all. He's all heroes. I assume we're going to be starting the trial again soon. You probably might want to start making your way back to the courtroom. Valindra, Merrick, and I will obviously be there. We've taken everything you've said into consideration, and it seems like we are coming closer to a verdict any moment.
Yeah, we've got some bad news.
And that is,
We think that at least one, maybe more, members of the jury has attempted to bribe us.
And you watch smoke instantly blow out of his nose. He coughs up fire, so like in his mouth, like you could see like there's like a bright flame as he's like choked up by the fact that this is happening. I'm sorry. You were bribed by the shadow jury.
Yes. They gave us varying amounts of gold,
And what else?
and they asked us to tell the truth, which like isn't really much of a bribe actually, but we figured it was worth telling you anyway. They bribed us kind of, but they told us to do what we're already supposed to do, so it doesn't feel like much of a bribe, but that's for you to decide.
Did they ask you to speak out against anyone? What a strange bribe.
They asked us to tell the truth about our party members, which, again, we're supposed to do that anyway.
I think they were bribing you to talk about the not good parts of your party members to make them seem less credible. I will meet you in the courtroom. I must go speak with Philindra. And he like marches.
Okay.
I think we may have turned the tides of the trial, ladies. All in the day's work. Perhaps we should find the boys, have a quick debrief before we go back into the trial, and figure out what's next. I would like to at least be all on the same page.
Shouldn't be too hard to find us. We're just chilling, shooting the shit.
Yeah, I think you guys are found pretty quickly, and like Valera will not. We have alerted one of the judges to the bribery.
Did they believe you?
Very quickly.
He just ran off.
He went to go speak with the other, the elf lady.
Yeah.
Well, this is an unfortunate turn of events, but I guess I'm glad the jury showed their hand if they're not willing to have integrity with this proceeding, even though they were telling us to tell the truth.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like much of a bribe if you're being asked to tell the truth.
But they gave you money, so regardless of what they were asking you to do, that's a bribe. And I think that just means that they'll call a mistrial, and perhaps our testimonies given thus far will be good enough. We won't have to attend the next one.
And like, why does it
Certainly.
say that? Like, a bell signals for everyone to return to the courtroom.
Alright, let's get back in there.
Alright.
See, I don't even think Danny the Phantom's third trial had a recess. I mean,
Danny the Phantom's trial definitely did not have a recess. It was pretty clear he did it. Pretty clear he sold it. He had a receipt of the sale, so yeah, Danny Phantom prosecuted fast as fuck. I have to make sure I have a note of this because I feel like I'm gonna forget Danny Phantom and I'm gonna make another joke about it.
His molecules got all rearranged.
So you all like walk back into the room. The shadow jury pours in. The audience pours in. I think Kyodor will give you a reassuring pat on the back, Orn, before you go back up to the table. And like as everyone gathers around, Isolde immediately walks to the courtroom and she stands in the center of that zone of truth. Our jury has been compromised. It seems as if there is bribery going on within the jury. This trial cannot be fair. So the judges have instead chose to make the verdict alone. The verdict is Joffrey is guilty of mismanaging his guild and endangering the lives of the people of Northstrand. He is now immediately stripped of his title of the leader of the Pale Scroll Order and will be serving time and paying reparations to the city of Northstrand. We are conducting further investigations. There will be another trial with an entirely new jury. Every juror here whose identity is concealed will be under evaluation, as we will make sure none of you are in the next one. I would like to now explain to the heroes what we are offering. The city of Endofis is offering the heroes, who now have experience in hunting down aberrations, 500 gold for the head of Lily de Marbre. We are offering a subsequent amount of 100 gold per each of the child turned werewolf. I don't care if they're dead or alive.
Oof.
The evidence will be held. The body of Solomon will be questioned. And we will look past the murder of Solomon, seeing as he was an agent of chaos. We are now further investigating the mirror, seeing as this now has ties to a cult. We will be in touch. The court is dismissed.
Is there anyone here that we could speak to about acquiring weapons or materials that would give us an advantage against the aberrations?
You will go down into the city and buy your weapons and armor like normal people.
Okay, yep. And about that mirror to communicate with Joffrey in case we're able to have his help speaking with Lily.
We are reviewing that now. We will be in touch. We do not know if Joffrey is trustworthy based upon his answers in the Zone of Truth. We have found that he has intentionally hidden intentions and used ambiguous wording.
Okay.
When you are ready for a teleport back into Northstrand, come and see me. I will... And she kind of, like, pulls out, like, a little card. And, like, you see it's, like, got, like, magic, like, her name written in, like, this magic little glowing purple ink and whatnot. And, like, it has directions to rip the card and she'll spawn. And she hands it over to Orn in particular. When you're ready for your teleport back into Northstrand to hunt down Lily, you will
God damn it.
call upon me.
Wait, can we go down into the city and buy some supplies?
Yes, that's what she said.
Yeah, basically you guys are able to go hang out in the city. You can technically check into your room and into office and all that other good stuff.
Ooh. Oh, interesting.
You guys can also go to the Wizard's Toe Bar.
Yeah, let's get supplies.
Yeah. I think Riley and I are gonna have to call it here, though. This was unless there's anything else you think we should do before we call it, Sam.
To you guys entirely, like, if you guys want to, like, continue anything else with the trial, because of the exposed shadow jury, it was labeled as a mistrial, and they're currently just going to proceed with the information they had against Joffrey, which is that he did endanger people, he did mismanage, and he needs to be held. And they're going to conduct further investigation, and there will likely be a second trial, but the party is not needed for it.
Let's go. Cool.
What'd you guys think about your loyalty test?
I want to throw Orn under the bus so fucking bad.
For half a second, I thought that it was just gonna say, "I want to throw up."
If you guys didn't catch Flera, I was likely going to have her imply something about Orn during the trial and completely, like, turn the tides.
Oh man. Orn.
Yes.
Hey, when you gonna start being a team player?
Huh? I have been a team player this whole time.
No.
I've been a team player this entire time. What are you talking about?
I think you've been a Tate player.
I think I've been a team player this whole time.
Team Tate.
No. Team
Right, Team Orn.
benefit team the most. Which is what is happening.
You got my people killed.
Huh? No, that was Lily.
Kinda.
No, it was physically.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone say bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Stream.